Just a friendly reminder that the opinions expressed on this show are not worth a Canadian penny, so disregard anything you hear that might get anyone in trouble. And despite some of the great ideas you may hear, don't try them at home. Go to a friend's house instead.
It's time to get a gun. That's what I've been thinking. Well, I could afford one. And if I did just a little less drinking, time to put something between me and the sun. When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.
Hello and welcome to episode 182 of Slamfire Radio for November 25th, 2016. I'm one of your hosts, Adriel Michaud.
Am I next? No, you're not next. That's me.
Well, hurry up next time.
All right. I'm Kelly Lynn.
Hi, Kelly.
Hello. Who are you?
I'm Matthew. Trevor's on assignment. I'm apparently anxious. Is it me? Is it my turn now? I can't see the notes. No, that's
a bit jumpy.
Just me cutting off Kelly.
Yes. Happy Thanksgiving to our American listeners.
Oh, you had to be the classy one, didn't you?
It's me. Hey, you know what else it is?
What? just
lots of Christmas fans here.
I'm so happy that we're not hosting the staff party this year because it means we don't have to put up a tree. And what's cool about not putting up a tree is you don't have to take it down.
Oh, that's the worst.
Oh, man. She actually gave me permission to throw it away yesterday. I was cleaning out the basement, and she's like, you can throw the tree away.
What happens next year when you host?
We can't host because we don't have a tree. Win-win. Oh, my.
Well, maybe on non-Christmas related events. Trevor, what'd you do in guns this week?
I actually got out hunting twice. I was out today, and I was out last Saturday with Muffin. And Matthew has said a couple of times he's gone out and he's not seeing any birds. He's not surprised because everybody says there's no birds, right? Mm-hmm. Well, we saw 11 and got 5.
Oh,
so, yeah. That being said, today, none. But also last week, I saw 6 deer. So a mom and 2 kids. And then at the end of the day, saw another mom and 2 kids. Today when I was out hunting, nothing except for 4 bull moose. I saw 3 of them together at the same time, which is, I know the rut's
weird
over, but yeah, still anyway. One of them had a real nice rack. And then the last one I saw today was probably the largest New Brunswick moose I've ever seen. And I don't remember ever seeing, sorry, Edith. Edith is screaming at her. No, you did. There are no moose in New Brunswick. Anyway, today, the last one I saw today is definitely the largest moose I've ever seen in the wild. And I don't recall ever seeing 4 moose in one day on a hunting trip. And it's so funny, hunters in this region, when they find out that they've been drawn and are going to get a tag, they'll go scout out some areas and they'll put up a sign. Yeah. And normally they'll say, Adriel Michaud 2016. And that kind of says stay out of this area. And then some people are douches and they'll tear down the other guy's sign and put their own sign up. And anyway, signs everywhere.
Because you guys have a super short season, right?
Super short season. So it's very competitive for a good spot. But I can see why this area was covered in moose signs. And by moose signs, I mean hunters putting up a sign saying, moose 20. It was all French. Chasse 2016, chasse 2000. One guy went back to the same spot. So he had chasse 2011. And then the one was scratched out, and it was Chasse 2015. So he had from 2011 to 2015. So it's pretty interesting. What else have I been doing? I can move again, and recovery is going well. Yeah. So, and I'm not going to say who, but the listener knows who he is. A listener of the show heard on a previous episode that I wasn't doing well, that something was going on, and he checked in on me. So how awesome is that? Hey, Trev, I heard that you weren't doing so good lately, so I just thought I'd, say hi and see how you're doing. That's awesome. That can turn a person's day around, right? You're like,
on Facebook or at your door?
No, okay. On Facebook. Down my door would be creepy, especially if I had never met them before. But no, yeah. It's so nice when somebody takes the time to check in on somebody. It could just totally brighten up their day. So if you're listening, that was really cool. Thank you. And since I am doing better, I've spent a lot of time in the basement getting caught up on brass sorting. I hadn't touched or cleaned a piece of brass for 2 years, and it was getting a little out of control. Bags of brass from after training classes or after large matches, or Snuffleupagus picks up his brass and other people's brass, and he'll scoop it up at the range and he'll give it to me. And then when we do reloading, I just give him the brass, right? Because whatever he picks up, he sends my way. And none of that had been sorted. So the last couple of days has been, since Monday, except for today, I didn't do a thing today because I was out hunting. Copious amounts of sorting, cleaning, and now tonight, right before the show, I was prepping some 30-06 brass, which kind of sucked, but it's been done in stages. And, I'm going to roll up some 30-06 tomorrow. McClatchy and Matt Lorette and Jewel and Matt's wife are coming up for the weekend. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to teach Matt how to reload rifle. I mean, he already reloads pistol, so he understands the concepts behind reloading, but he's going to look at some of the equipment I have, and I've got some gifts put aside for him, a couple of reloading items that I've upgraded, so I'm going to give him some stuff to get him started, a trickler and a trimmer. He doesn't listen, so I can say this. He's not going to find out. Unless, like, tomorrow's the one time he decides to listen to the show on the way here, yeah.
On the way there, yeah.
Yeah,
that's what he's gonna do.
Exactly. What else? And, and he's going to teach me how to disassemble my fancy schmancy Tanfoglio pistols. When I ran Glock, I mean, I literally did a detail strip for my YouTube. I didn't strip. I stripped the Glock for my YouTube channel, blindfolded. 2 Glocks, detail strip, not just field strip, blindfolded. That's how well I knew the Glock inside and out. And these Tanfoglios, I've not even attempted to take them apart. There's like roll pins everywhere. And the guy who owns Freedom Ventures, he said one time, because Mo and Lorette will just rip these things apart anytime, anywhere. They don't care. And he's like, Lorette and Mo are the only guys I've ever seen take a sear cage out of a Tanfoglio at a match. He said it takes 3 hands to do that. I know. I sell and service them. So now Matt, not only does Matt know how to take them apart, he also knows how to do a trigger job. He was at the Worlds in Florida in 2015 with Mo, and Eric Raffel tried Matt's Tanfoglio Stock 3. Now, Eric Raffel's a world champion. He shoots for Tanfoglio, and he came up with his own aftermarket product line for Tanfoglio pistols called the Extreme Parts line. And the new guns come out now. You can buy the regular gun, or you can buy the Extreme version, which has all Eric's parts on. So that's just to give you a little background on who Eric Raffel is. Eric tried Matt's trigger and said, it's better than mine. Let me take it apart so I can see what you did. So the boy can do a trigger job. So while I'm mounting 2 scopes for him, he's going to bring up his 30-06 and his 308. I'm going to mount those. He's going to teach me how to do a trigger job and how to disassemble a Tanfoglio. Yeah, so.
Now, disassemble or do the trigger job, are you going to do it like inside a box or inside a bag?
It's funny you should say that, Kelly, because it is recommended that when you disassemble at least the sear cage on a Tanfoglio, it's said to do it inside a clear Ziploc bag the first time, because I guess there are some pieces that will go flying.
Springs.
Yeah, so, people bag on the 1911, and no one hates it more than I do, but really, it's quite simple to take apart. It really is. There's a high parts count compared to the Glock, but in fairness, all guns have high parts counts compared to Glock. I've owned just about all the striker-fired pistols that we can here in Canada, with the exception of the Walther, and they're all high parts count. And I would disassemble all of them without looking at any videos, just to see how intuitive it was, see if I could figure it out myself. And when I got the HK, I didn't even attempt it. I was like, nope, I'm out. I mean, I'm sure I could, but nope. So, and then one other thing, I got an update on my 308 yesterday. My Remington 700 in the TAC 21 chassis. I've been talking. This has been ongoing now for about a year. I upgraded and bought some Lupua brass, and Lupua brass was cracking, and I couldn't figure out why it was cracking. And then I had the chamber checked by the gunsmith who built my Garand. He did the go, no-go gauge, and then he took a casting of the chamber, and the chamber wasn't round. It was kind of cut oval, and so the case was expanding in the wrong direction, or too much in one direction, and it was cracking. So I got an update from him, and I won't read it all, but anyway, he's done all kinds of stuff and threw all kinds of numbers at me. And then he said, I also polished the bolt. and I did this and I did that, and I'm not going to go through it all. But basically, he did all the things that I had already paid the last guy to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So not only did he have to correct the last guy's mistake and cut a new chamber, he also did all the finishing work to the bolt and the lugs, and he disassembled the bolt and polished things inside. Anyway, he did everything that was supposed to already be done and that I already paid for. So, the guy from North Shore Barrels, if you're listening, I'm glad your business, well,
Okay.
try to be nice.
Isn't this the guy that did it for you? Wasn't it the guy in Fredericton?
Yeah, Filthy's buddy. He's the guy that showed us the tanks that time.
Yeah.
And, good guy, good gunsmith. And Muffin and I are looking at, getting some rifles, ARs chambered in 7.62 by 40, which has always been my, unicorn of AR chamberings, because it's a 5.56 case with 5 millimeters trimmed off and then neck down to take a 7.62 bullet. So it's like a 300 Blackout, but with more case capacity. So it's not a lot faster than 300 Blackout, but it is faster than 300 Blackout, designed by Wilson for, shooting hogs. The barrels are kind of hard to come by, so what Muffin wants to do is order barrels in 300 Blackout and then get a chamber reamer for 7.62 by 40 and rechamber the 300 Blackout barrels in 7.62 by 40. I don't know if it's feasible, because the cost of the tool to cut a new chamber may throw this whole plan out the window, right? So I've got Chris, my gunsmith, looking into that as well. But Muffin told me he picked up a barrel at Brownells for $85.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good price.
Can't be much of a barrel though. 300 Blackout barrel for $85. I don't know who makes it, but he's getting it from Brownells. So here's what I'm thinking, Kelly. Get this.
They would ship through easily enough?
Yeah, Officer Frank got 2 AR barrels from Brownells. They do the paperwork for you. They walk you through the export license. It's super easy. So here's what I'm thinking. 7.62 by 40 is no, I mean, I always thought there's no point in owning an AR in anything other than 5.56, maybe 7.62 by 39 because it's cheap. And we only shoot them at the range. So why have an AR in a hunting caliber, right? Well, what if I got an XCR in 7.62 by 39? And what if I had that barrel from that XCR rechambered for 7.62 by 40? Then I would have an AR style platform in 7.62 by 40 that would be non-restricted. I think this has just become my dream gun, because I held Rod Giltaka's newest generation of the XCR L in 7.62 by 39, and it's as light as a 16-inch AR.
Yeah, they're really cool. I really like the forend that they have on those.
Yeah, the new key mod one.
Yeah.
Nice and low profile. Yeah. So,
How much?
Well, you buy the rifle.
Yeah.
And I think the tool for cutting the chamber is hundreds of dollars. And then reloading components or whatever, you make your own brass out of 5.56 brass. You get a set of dies. So let's say I buy the rifle and I spend $400 on the tool to rechamber it. I still have a non-restricted semi-auto in the caliber I really want to work with. So I mean, I lost money on my Model 29 when I finally got the one that I wanted, but I got the one that I wanted. So sometimes you got to pay to get what you want. You got to pay to play.
Yep.
But chances aren't, and we'll see. It's a pipe dream right now for sure, and but I am going to look into it. So, Adriel, I've taken up enough time for all 3 of us, 4 of us, even if Matthew was here. I thought I was going to be short and sweet. Man, I just can't stop myself. Go ahead. What did you do?
Let's see. I became a CCFR field officer.
Finally.
Year.
Yeah.
Yep. So I guess I got to do some stuff with that. I'm currently out hunting as well. I'm hunting all week, so I'm at a buddy's house right now. So if you hear me cut in or out, it's because I'm on farmer internet and it's not that good out here. But it seems to be doing all right so far.
Seems to be better than your usual. Yeah.
Maybe you should go to his place and
yeah, do a little bit of hunting too. I've seen no end of mule deer. I've got a tag for a white-tailed deer, and I've seen I would say like 9 mule deer so far, and really close. You know, I was watching, what was it, like Steve Vernella's Meat Eater, and he was saying that mule deer are like really mysterious and that kind of thing, and hard to hunt. And I don't know, those aren't the same mule. Those aren't the same mule deer that I have in my neighborhood, because they'll come up with you practically.
The Alberta mule deer, you could take it with a bat if you really wanted to.
Yeah. But maybe the ones they have in Colorado are like smarter or something, because the ones out here are not as cagey, I guess, as the whitetails. But I did get a deer yesterday, so I was kind of parked on a cut line, and man, I've been putting in a lot of hours hunting, and just sitting there, and I spotted a deer coming. I'm like, oh yeah, another muley. And I picked up my rifle and just scoped it. And, no, that's not a muley, that's a whitetail. So I immediately shot it. No, like, maybe another one will show up, or maybe I'll wait and see if there's a bigger one. Nope, that one.
What did you shoot it with?
Tika 30-06. I had just before the hunting season, actually, I did that poll and asked people what rifle I should buy and review, and the Tika won in popularity. So I picked one up, and I threw my Citron S3 on it, which was a totally silly scope to put on top of it, but
why?
Damn, you could see way out there.
Yeah.
I had some spots where I could spot deer at like 500 yards or so, and you crank the magnification up on that sucker, and you can watch their facial expressions, you can watch what they're doing.
What's the minimum?
It's a 6 to 24.
Yeah, 6. Yeah, you might want to go a little like 3 to 9 generally is good, or at least 4, but 6 is a bit.
No, 3 to 9 is the way to go. I see a lot of guys going to the 4 to 12s. I don't think they're super necessary. 3 to 9s are fine. It's just a good quality 3 to 9. You can see a lot at 9X. In fact, I wish I had asked this when we had the Vortex guy on, Reg. I wish that we had asked him why they don't do more fixed 6 scopes, because I would love a fixed.
Because they're lame.
Simple, light, fewer moving parts. I would buy a fixed 6. I don't really need to like crank on my magnification ring all that much when I'm out hunting. And 6 would be just that perfect amount of zoom where you can spot stuff, determine what it is, and not so zoomed in that it's.
I have a Weaver fixed 4 power.
It's not enough, right?
Well, it's from 1954 when it was a good idea, but now we have technology and skilled tradesmen, and we don't need fixed anymore. Like a 3 to 9, you could turn that to 6, and you could like duct tape it on 6 if you wanted to.
Wouldn't a fixed zoom have fewer parts though? Be lighter, be cheaper to make?
I don't know about lighter.
Oh, it would have a couple of fewer parts on it, right?
Yeah, it would. Wouldn't have an adjustment dial, obviously. Mm-hmm.
Okay, next time we have an optics manufacturer on, we got to grill them over why there aren't fixed magnification scopes out there.
Just send them an email.
I suppose I could just do that too, right?
Yeah.
Don't they make a fixed 10 though?
Yep, but 10's too much. I want 6 for a fixed 10 is like a tactical scope, right? I've seen the fixed 4s out there. I'm pretty sure Weaver still makes their fixed 4. I'm not sure if they make a fixed 6 or not. Well, something to ask a scope guy, I guess. So I skinned and butchered my deer, and I'm out with a couple of buddies right now, so we're butchering their deer as well, and we're gonna get some hamburger and make some jerky. So like you can make jerky by just slicing and then drying it out with a smoker kind of a thing, or you can grind it up and then do extruded. I don't like the extruded for the consistency of it.
You do or don't?
I like it for the consistency. You could when you put it into a smoker, and you've got consistent heat, that you'll cook them all to the same level. Whereas if you do the slicing, some parts will be thinner than others, and you have to kind of babysit a little bit more. Go out and check it. Oh, this one's done. That one's done. This one's burnt. This one still needs like another 2 hours. Whereas the extruded stuff, it's all the same, right? But it isn't like, I don't know, it isn't really as authentic. It packs way better. If you do extruded, it's all perfectly straight, right? So you want to put it in a Ziploc bag for like a snack or something like that. You can stack a whole bunch in there, and whereas the other stuff, it's mostly air. Anyways, enough talking about jerky. Like this is supposed to be a gun show, right? And then another thing I did was I put a Spectre Ballistics mag block into a buddy's SKS. So the SKS is, if you want to use a detachable mag, let's say you've got like an optics mount over top of it or something like that, and you want to use a detachable mag, the Tapco duckbill mags work, but the duckbill is freaking huge, and it makes the magazines really bulky, really hard to pocket or anything like that. So this is a block that you kind of pop in right around where the recoil lug is, so kind of forward of the action there. And it gives just a different catch for the magazine so that the magazine can kind of go a little bit further forward. And what that means is that you can modify that Tapco mag to be a lot shorter. You basically cut off the duckbill, and now you've got a like quote unquote regular length magazine that you can use with your SKS. That's all. That's about it for me. Kelly, what about you?
Didn't get out again because you know what? We had a snowstorm.
What?
Yeah, we had a snowstorm. We got it started on Saturday morning and it's ended on Monday evening. We have we have two.
What?
Serious.
Oh my, that's disgusting.
I know, and it's only the end of November. This is so unusual for where I live. Like normally, chances are 50-50. Okay, 75 that we'll have a green Christmas usually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we had snow in October for 2 days, and now we have 2.5 feet of yeah, stopped on Monday evening. Yeah, not happy. I didn't spend any time at the range this weekend. We canceled Maple Seed. That was supposed to be taken. And again, it's probably the reason. So, yeah, which is unfortunate for just seeing Rick. But we made the decision to cancel it. Everybody was getting back. They wanted to hold off until everybody was getting back from. I only had. It's not worth the effort to put it on for just 1 or 2 people. Cancel it and regroup with that. What else? You guys are talking about all kinds of deer that you're seeing. I see deer every day. We have a couple actually.
Get a crossbow.
That would be highly not a good thing because I see them at work. We feed them, so they're very, very friendly. And when you said, but the mule deers being, well, these ones actually come up to your window. I thought I'd let you know.
Do you ever wonder what they would taste like, though?
No.
Boy, what do you mean? Kelly, have you not eaten venison?
Oh, I've eaten venison, yes, but no,
Okay.
not these ones.
Well, Kelly, those ones taste like the other ones you ate. They don't you look, there's no personality. They're not friendly. They're dumb. They're animals. They just want food, and
Yes.
you want them to be food. Don't get attached to your food, Kelly.
Not these, anyways.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we call them the girls at work because there's 4 girls plus there's a couple of babies. Yeah, a couple of stags. See them every day in the morning when we go to work and every day when we leave. In the
You should invite
the
them.
apples and the pumpkins that everybody's bringing in and the straw. Anyways.
You should invite one over for dinner.
Bring them inside. It's cold out there.
Yeah, bring them inside. It's cold. That's true. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. And the other thing we've been still working on is that calendar. Oh God, it's gonna be the death of me. But yeah, hopefully be out soon. And maybe I'll superimpose some photos.
Yeah, no. Not sure you understand the finer points of fundraising.
I'm sure it will be a good fundraiser. You're going to be...
Yeah, if you get like a bodybuilder or something like that and like Photoshop us on those ones, then we'll be okay with it.
There you go.
Oh, that'd be cool. Okay, so listeners, anybody that's really good with Photoshop, send me a message.
Don't, because Tony Brown will screw us.
Oh, yeah, Tony!
Did you see what he did to Adriel one time?
Yes, I did. I got a message. Okay.
How was
That's
that?
it. I'm good. Let's go
All
on
right.
to upcoming events.
All right. We've got the Active Killer Defense Course on Sunday, December 4th in London, Ontario. People can sign up through fireartsolutions.ca or activekillerdefense.com. And that's the American spelling of defense with a S. The 7th annual Canadian Podcasters Charity Shoot is on Saturday, July 8th, 2017 at the Guelph Rod and Gun Club in Guelph, Ontario. The Canadian Patriot Podcast is this year's host, and the charity of choice is Many-to-One, which would be many-2 as in the number, -1 as in not the number, the word, .org. Boy.
And so now that the date and location has been announced, will soon be collecting money for the raffling off of the SKS. So there's a side bet fundraiser going on. Jay Hines, friend of the show, friend of Modern Rifle and Radio, been on lots of podcasts. The bet is, he said, if I bought an SKS and shot it, he would shave his beard. The man has a glorious beard. There is no other way to describe it. There's not a man who looks at Jay's face and doesn't have a little bit of beard envy. This beard would make a Viking proud. It really, truly would. So he's going to shave off his beard if I shoot the SKS. Now, that's all fine and well, but how do we raise some extra money for the charity shoot? You listeners have a chance to win the rifle that I shoot. So we'll do the usual 4 for $20 or whatever, however that math works on tickets that I can't do. Yeah. So you have a chance to go home with the rifle if you're at the event, or if not, then I'll ship it to you after I shoot it at the event. So thanks to Thomas Bryant, Mr. Uzi, he stepped up immediately and said, dude, I got an SKS for you. It even comes with an extra stock. So I'm like, great. Now it's only legal if I pay him for the rifle. He was willing to give it to me. So I'm actually going to EMT him $1. I think it costs more for the EMT than it is, but we got to keep everything up in the up and up. So I have to pay for the rifle. And then Jay Hines will shave his beard. And Kelly wants us to wear dresses apparently while we do this. So
it's not Kelly. Okay, it is me.
There you go. Stacy might have had a comment on that as well. I'm not sure.
We're already shopping. Know that.
That's
right?
Fantastic.
Yeah, we are.
So,
seriously.
Yeah. Honk if you think I'm pretty. Swerve if you think I'm ugly. All right. What's next?
Next up, we've got the Got Your Six charity shoot. This is the second annual precision rifle competition from July 22nd to the 23rd in Edson, Alberta. Funds raised there will go towards the War Horse Awareness Foundation. You can learn more at www.gotyoursixshoot.com. News? I don't think we have any this week.
Fine.
Let's go on to the main topic then. So for this week, we're thinking about doing Black Friday deals. So going through and kind of picking through the different Black Friday deals that the different stores around Canada are doing. The first one we've got here is Wanstalls. Anything in there kind of interesting to you guys?
Well, why don't you bring it up and tell us what's there? And
got some CZ range rifle. What is a CZ range rifle?
That's a great question.
I don't even know what that is, but they've got a sale on them. They were $1,500. They're going to be $1,200. Ruger American centerfires are 15% off. They got some Chiappa stuff. All Stoger shotguns 20% off. That's interesting.
Just asking.
No one has barrels. Remington 870s on sale. Marlin 336 rifles. There's a $50 rebate on those. All right. Well, that's the Wanstalls one.
What's the Arsenal Legend 30-06 Springfield Arctic camo? What's that Arsenal Legend?
I have no idea. What is an Arsenal Legend?
I don't know.
Legend.
Well, it's a good price though. It's from $14.99 to $99. Did you get the $75 off all Remington 700s?
No. Yeah, there's a mail-in rebate for those.
$60 mail-in rebate on 870s.
It's like Arsenal is, what is this, Italian? Looks like it's a firearms, like a completely, I've never heard of these guys before.
Arsenal Legend.
It's an Italian rifle maker. Interesting.
And also, if you're looking for a scope, they've got Bushnell scopes, Bushnell Elite scopes up to $100 in rebates. Now, yeah, the mail-in rebate stuff doesn't do much for me. But when they've got a rifle, a $1,500 rifle on for $500 off, that's decent.
Yeah, and the Stoger shotguns at 20% off. That's a pretty steep discount as well. Like it's hard to do a big discount on firearms because
there's no markup.
There's barely any markup on a lot of these things. So
yeah, cool. All right, the next one is Reliable Gun.
Yeah, do you want to take that one?
Sure. So Reliable Guns Black Friday sale, and listeners, all of these can be found on CGN. I got a bunch of them through email.
Maybe I'll pop them into the show notes as well.
Yeah.
So if you know where to go. Yeah.
So Reliable's Black Friday sale is going to take place. Well, these are happening tomorrow, so you're going to tomorrow and Saturday for Reliable. What do they got here that's really big? Remington 783 rifles, $100 off.
Well, check out those ammo prices just above. Barnall 9mm, 1,000 rounds for $239. Oh, that's a good price.
That is a good price for factory ammo.
Yeah,
I mean,
SMD for 1,000 is $269. That's good. Their PMC 223 for 1,000 rounds is $439. That's incredible.
Well,
they're gonna sell out.
Incredible, but and then American Eagle 45 ACP American Eagle, so that's going to be brass. It's going to be, I think, small primer. Max 2 per customer.
That's for all of the amps too.
Oh yeah, so I'll get 2 of each. $450 for 1,000 45 ACP. And that's brass case. Challenger shotgun ammo number 8, a case for $65. That's not a sale. That's not a sale for Challenger, 250 rounds.
No, it is. I don't know if you've been taking a look at prices recently, but it's hovering around the $7 to $8. Like standard pricing is usually like $8 on those. So to get 10 boxes for $65 is a decent bump, or a decent sale.
I guess last time I bought a case was $60. That would have had to been a while ago. Yeah. Remington Target number 9, that's like throwing sand, $69. Remington number 8, $69. And CCI 22 Mini Mag, 500 rounds for $50. Can't kick on that, really. Marlin rifles are 15% off. So this is Reliable Gun. So if you're looking for your first $7.95, Marlin rifles 15% off. And Marlin makes a nice bolt action rifle too. They're also accurate. Micro groove rifling, right? HK. Oh, this is decent. HK SFP9, which is the European version of the VP9 or the Canadian version of the VP9. Identical pistol. I had one. Great pistol. Not a fan of the sights. The magazines cost $90 a piece, but the ergonomics were amazing. The accuracy was amazing. The trigger was excellent. $850. And that, when I bought mine last year, it was $1,000. They have, and these are an interesting red dot optic, Holo Sun. So they look kind of the same size as a aim point. They are solar powered as well as battery, and they're $175. I've seen a couple of them. This is what I need to pick up for my new Stag AR. $175. It's not a cheap eBay Chinese clone knockoff thing. These Holo Sun sights, I've seen 2 of them now on the range and handled them, and I'm impressed with them. Charlie's buddy that picked me up, that took me out to the Abbotsford range, had one. Can't remember his name right now. Avi? Anyway, nice guy. Yeah. And a really cool optic.
I think Edward Osborne's got a review on him too. So if you want to look up Holo Sun TV press pass review, I think he's got maybe a video or maybe an article on it.
Nice. They got some pistols on sale too, a Reliable Gun. Smith & Wesson SD9VE in 9mm is marked down to $369. That's hovering about where they were when they first came out. They may have gone up some. It's the new Sigma. It's very, very, very Glockish. Horrible trigger, but for the price, good gun, good value.
Well, yeah, $369. Like, what can you get for $369? Nothing. Right?
Usually, if you're paying $369, you're getting an Norinco 1911. Mm-hmm. You know, and this is much better. Yeah, Sig Sauer P226 in 22 LR, $100 off. Glock 21. Wow, when Glock 17s are selling for $850, they're selling a Glock 21 45 ACP Gen 3 for $589. Glock 22 Gen 3 for $589. Those are great prices for that, especially for the Glock 22. Cool. All right. That's Kelly, you want to get the next one? That's everything from Reliable Gun.
All right. So the next one is Arms. Yes,
Yep.
Arms. So they have, how do you pronounce that?
Geisley.
Thank you.
Geisley, probably the best aftermarket AR trigger made.
Right. So you can actually go to their site, and they're offering right now from tomorrow or today, whenever you're listening to this. Anyways, the 25th to the 27th. Online only. It's no full. It's 20% off Geisley triggers, super module rails, super precision scope mounts. So that's the Geisley. Then they're also offering 15% off of their in defense carbines, right? In all calibers, 9mm, 45 ACP. It also includes rail package.
I wouldn't mind a Thuron defense in 10mm.
Yeah.
Chris Babes shot a deer from a tree stand with one of those.
Huh.
Cool. All right. So then Arms East, a good Atlantic Canadian company. They're the Canadian distributor for Stag, and they're over in St. John's, Newfoundland.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
I'll grab the next one here. Cabela's has a whole pile of stuff on sale, so I'll just kind of like run through some of the shooting ones there. They have the SD V as well for $389, which is slightly more than we just heard there. They've got a Savage Mark II FXP, which is a bolt action 22 with scope for $299. I think the thing that was most interesting to me was that a bunch of their powders on sale. So they've got a bunch of Hodgkin powders from $32 and IMR powders from $29. So if you've been paying rip-off prices for powder over the last 2 years while it's been in short supply, it looks like those are back to quote-unquote normal, like $30 per pound is where it really should be.
What else they have?
Mm-hmm. A jerky blaster. I already got one. How else do you make jerky? No, that's the jerky gun that you use to extrude, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love those. They've got some Weatherby shotguns on sale. They've got the PA-08, which is a pump action for $399. Supernova Tactical for $349. Henry Lever action rifles, the 22s for $349. SR9s, MVPs, and a bunch of other stuff. But now let's just check the second page here, see if there's anything else that's super, super interesting. Looks like some air rifles, gun case, Walker's Game Ear Ultimate Alpha Muff, which is like an electronic muff for $64 instead of $129. That's a really steep discount. And airsoft, who needs that? Some Tannerite. I'm not really seeing a lot else that's interesting here. IMR powders, 8 pounds for $314. Mm-hmm. And then we've got some Remington UMC pistol ammo for $16.99 per box. I believe that's 9mm. Which, if you're just going to buy a box or two, that's fine as well. Anyways, did you want to take the profit river, Trevor?
Yeah. They have tax in. Pay no tax on any item for all orders in store and online. They could give a code here, so if you're going to shop online, minimum $200, use that code. So that's their thing, and it doesn't apply to the Ruger Vaquero consignment items or gift cards. So that's what they're doing. Buy $200 and save the tax.
So I'll pick up Bullseye in London. They're doing it from Thursday, November 4th, so it's already passed, to Saturday, November 26th. You get 15% off ammunition, magazine, reloading, and optics. You also get 10% off of GSG or Alpha Pistol SD. So Vortex Optics.
Excluded.
Oh, excluded. Sorry. Yeah, it is. Vortex is excluded there, guys.
That's because they're already so competitively priced.
Yeah, they're and it doesn't apply to items already. If you go to, that's it.
And then I think I've got Canada Ammo here. So they've got a couple of different interesting sales. One of them is the Grizzly 18.5-inch magazine-fed shotgun. They've got those for $199. Some of their Norinco and Dominion Arms pistols are 15% off. A bunch of their ammo is 15% off as well. PMC FMJ is. Their hollow point is 25% off. So a bunch of different ammo sales over there. Their NEA rifles and parts are 15% off. Norinco 7.62 by 25 Tokarev ammo is 20% off. Kaboom binary targets. That's their, I think that's the cheapest stuff you can get in Canada in terms of like binary exploding targets. And they've got that for 15% off. And a bunch of other stuff in this list. Magpul at 20% off. NC Star at 20% off. whole pile of stuff on there. And I think the other one that's interesting here is if you buy a case of their Norinco 7.62x39 non-corrosive ammo, you can pick up a Russian SKS rifle for $189. So that's, I think most people, like the lowest they're getting right now is what, like $219, $210? Yeah, so a couple bucks off. They're going to do a daily prize draw to win a shotgun pistol or a case of Kaboom, and anybody placing a $400 order during the sale will be automatically entered into the prize draws.
Nice.
I think that's all for them.
Okay, Alberta Tactical Rifle, good Canadian-grown company, will be offering their sale from the 23rd to the 30th of November. All in-stock firearms are 5% off. This does not extend to custom orders placed or consignment rifles, only rifles that are in stock and ready to go. All Alberta Tactical Rifle Supply manufactured parts are 15% off. This includes rings, rails, mags, and all Alberta Tactical Rifle Supply branded accessories. All other in-stock merchandise is 10% off. So, yeah. Some conditions apply. Shipping and tax are the same as always. Cool.
All right.
Kelly, did you want to get Wild West?
So Wild West, yeah. So they're up. They have a few discounts that are going on. So 10% off of all optics. Hunting ammo is 2% off. Firearm sales is 5% off, and that's off of stuff that's not. Storm Lake barrels are 15% off in stock.
Really? Storm Lake makes some nice barrels, so it caught my attention.
So in-stock Galco products is 20%. Blade Tech products is Trigicon Optics is EOTech as well. And then they have a whole list of stuff that's on sale. You
Cool.
have sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying cool. Anything catch your eye in there?
So Armalite M15 mid-length semi 5.56. You're saving, well, it's not a huge saving, $60. But yeah, I don't know. Did you guys have a chance to look at that?
Oh, no, I didn't.
You got, down the bottom, you got a 6-hour P226 Classic 22LR, so it was regular $850, it's on for $699. I don't know.
Which one, Kelly?
The 6-hour P226 Classic.
Don't remember.
Yeah, well, here it's 600.
Glocks.
Yeah.
Glock 17. Blue titanium. What the hell is that?
Ooh, free holster and cleaning supplies. It's on for $1,000. $90.
Blue titanium. That's got to be some kind of custom GP100 Match Champion 357 Magnum. Match Champion, $1,100. That's pretty expensive for a Ruger, but they're calling it Match Champion, so must have some work done to it. Daniel Defense M4 V11, 18-inch barrel, 21.
I got some PS90s here, so if you like the PDW deal, they've got some of those on sale.
God, man, look at the price of that Glock 19.
I know.
That's $1,300 for a Gen 4 flat dark earth geo camo. No, thank you. Daniel Defense light rail. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take the next one here. The next one is Wolverine Supplies. I like their. So most of these that I added to the show here were from CGN. They got something funny here. I'll just read it because there's this first line that they've got. Again, it's that time of year, sales, deals, and emotional moments shared by all. There will be cheering, crying, probably some meh, but we'll do our best to provide everyone with a deal here and there. Yeah, it's kind of funny. And then one of the teasers they have, they're going to have a saving on UTAS of over $150 and $100 savings on their STG 44s from GSG. So they're saying also many other product lines will be coming up on sale for up to 50% off. So stay tuned. So a lot of different options there. Their black UTAS is $4.99 with sights. FDE and the ODG are $5.99. Let's see here. Their MOR with IR Bullseye, 30% off. I don't even know what an MOR is. What is that? Visible laser. Is that like a laser targeting thing that you put onto a AR?
I'm not sure.
Meprolite. Meprolite reflex sight with visible laser IR.
Yeah, IR is infrared.
It's a reflex sight with laser built into it. That's kind of neat. So it does both at once. Very cool. Not really something I'm going to put on one of my rifles, but I could see how someone would want one of those, and those are all at a pretty decent discount. They've got some Barrett once fired 416 brass that's on sale. They got some FAP Defense 858 wood kits. So if you've got the colloquial word for it is beaver barf. If you got one of the beaver barf 858 wood kits, they've got some wood kits that are a lot nicer.
Yeah, it's plastic. It's some kind of synthetic. Yeah, if you want to put real wood on it.
Yeah, it's like a chip wood blend of some kind, right?
Resin, yeah.
Yeah. They've got some really nice furniture.
It's like a beaver puked into a wood chipper.
Yeah, they got some there that'll replace it. Drake, let's see, M14 stocks are $75 off. Or sorry, $75 total. SPO1 Shadow, $7.99. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just clicked on that.
How many do you have in stock?
That's a good price.
It's not on that price just yet. I guess we have to wait till tomorrow. Man, that's a smoking price. Now I wish I didn't say that because I want to buy one of these. $7.99.
Limited quantity. It's not telling us quantity.
To put it into perspective for you, Adriel, I sold a secondhand Shadow for $7.50 just this fall.
Mm-hmm. That's new, $7.99.
Exactly.
$200 off.
Yeah, I know that's a good price. Wow.
Yep.
All right, what do we got next here?
Who are these guys? Corlane?
Yep.
Corlane Sporting Goods. If you're looking for a hunting rifle, they're the place to go. All in stock. Fierce firearms are 15% off. They have hunting accessories, lots of hunting rifles on sale. There's one here that is really marked down. Short action Seiko Carbonite rifles, $700 off.
Wow.
Holy.
Yeah, so the rifle's $3,000, right? So they've knocked them down $700. They're still coming in at $3,200, but that's $700 off. So if you're eyeballing one of those and on the fence, $700, man, for a short action Seiko Carbonite. It's around 5 pounds. That's a light rifle.
They've got some really good prices down here. Savage Axis Skull Camo, $275. I haven't seen Axis for like less than $300 for years. They've got a 25-06 left-handed for $245. Holy!
Yep. Maybe it's time for me to get an Axis. I want an Axis too, though, with an AccuTrigger. Savage Axis stainless.
Just get the regular one and then throw on. Oh, who makes it? It's called a Sav 1 trigger, and you can add that onto the Axis, and it cleans it right up. It's an aftermarket trigger from Rifle Basics, I think.
Oh, cool. That's good to know then. And 1911s. If you're looking for a 1911, man, they have them.
Place to go.
They have all kinds of 1911s in stock. They even have a really cool commemorative Remington 1911. What else? That's about it for those guys.
Most of these hunting rifles that they got up at the top here are like these really custom rifles. So right around the $2,000 to $4,000 range. So these must be really great custom rifles. But yeah, very interesting. Kelly, are you there?
Oh, I'm here.
Do you want to take the next one?
Sure. So it's X Metal targets.
Never heard of them.
I know, eh? 10% off their steel targets. And they're saying the discount applies only on targets, bullets, ammunition, and shipping. And shipments are excluded from this. It's only on targets, bullets, ammunition, and shipments are done. So. But, hey, still good bullets, right?
Absolutely, good enough to win the provincials.
Yeah, absolutely. So try them out.
And the quality of their steel targets is second to none. AR 500, really good stuff. Yeah, their plate rack is really innovative as well. You can either use it in a traditional fashion where the plates are on top and they fall down, you pull a rope and reset them, or you can put them underneath the plate rack and they free swing. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was just shooting their 22 Gopher target yesterday, actually, just during the day with a papoose of my buddies. So it's got like this little red flapper in the middle there. So it was really nice to be able to sight in on because it's easy to see where it's getting hit. And once you hit that flapper, it sounds like really different.
Mm.
The next sale here we have here is from S&J. They've got some really smoking deals. Benelli Nova +3 mag tube set was $114, now $64.
Holy.
Yeah. That's cheap. So if you've, they've got a couple other ones here. Your Remington 870, 1100, or 1187 Versamax, they're all the same. +3 mag tube set was $114, now $64. The Versamax +1 was $57, now $40. Seconds. Oh, this one is a factory seconds. He says that they've got a small milling mark on one of the cutouts. But if you don't mind that, I mean, that's like a $40 +1 is as cheap as it gets. Their M14 match grade op rod spring guide and spring was $44, now $28. Wow, that's a really good deal. And then they've got free shipping on all guns and AR-15 lowers.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Trevor, you just want to take this last one here?
Sure. This one is from SFRC, the ammo source, and they have 15% off. It goes until the 29th. So this is one of the longest sales we've seen so far. And yeah, 15% off everything, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't include Vortex or.
No.
But that's
And I'm looking at the new NEA rails. Holy jumpins. New key mod rails. I hadn't seen these before. M-Lock rail. Oh, I think I need me one of these. Squirrel. Trevor saw something shiny. Oh my. Have you seen these? Oh, this is going on my, oh yeah.
Are you okay?
Do you need a minute?
I think I need a minute, yeah. Oh, okay. What's the one thing I don't like about my NEA? The weight of the handguard. But look at this thing. So, yeah, if you're listening, kids, go check out the M-Lock rail at SFRC by NEA. Me likey. Couple other ones of note, Adriel. Marstar also has their sale on.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just go back here. Zoll. So if you are into VZ rifles, Zoll makes all kinds of accessories for all kinds of rifles, actually. But that's where I always go to get my Fab Defense furniture for my VZ rifles. 20% off any order, so that's cool. Action shooters might want to go over and check out the sales at, where is it here? No, that's M Carbo. So if you need a spring kit for your rifle, M Carbo does spring kits for the triggers. Here we go. Double Alpha. Double Alpha make those belts that we like so much, Adriel, for IPSC. 5% off any order. 10% off orders over $150 US. 15% off orders over $250. It's not hard to spend that there. They make excellent products for action shooting. So that's also worth checking out. And do I have another one? Who's this? No, that's
Marstar ones
Marstar.
are decent. So Marstar got a bunch of their cowboy stuff on sale. So
Yeah,
they're,
but nobody's
decent
into that.
peacemakers.
So I didn't bother because I'm like, who cares?
No one buys
No, you're
cowboy
right.
rifles.
Under $500 for an entry level cowboy action gun? Heck yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at some of the black powder ones they have here. 18.1 Rebel Navy for $310. They've got a Pieta 1860 Army Sheriff for $230. Man, that's downright reasonable.
It is.
Armalite Eagle 15 for just under $1,000.
I think Marstar's got their Norinco M14 or Norinco AR-15 back in stock as well, and it's the one that comes with the chrome line barrel, full ambidextrous controls. I mean, full mag release and safety. The rifles are great. Like, I've not seen one around my area or my province fail yet, and they're under $700. Great way to get into an AR.
Yeah, I was just going to look and see if I could find those and see.
And the carry handle
they're
is
sold out.
movable. Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Dang, that didn't last long.
Unless they've got it under, no, maybe it's under military rifles. They've got like a couple different ways of getting to the same thing, right? No, there's an SKS.
That's my favorite Ronnie story. Ronnie from my gun club, the guy who passed away in the motorcycle accident. He walks into my school in the middle of the day when the kids are there, says, "Can I speak to you?" Comes in the office, pulls out a Visa Gold card, puts it on my desk, and says, "Buy me an AR-15 right now, please."
Aw.
Yeah. So, yeah, got him his AR-15. Sadly, it arrived the day of his funeral.
Oh.
That sucked, but it was fun ordering it for him. So.
Did you pick it up from Marstar? Or
yeah, we got it from
else?
We got it from Marstar, and we got it when they were like 600. They might have been like 530 or something. They were like ridiculously low price. Yeah.
Yeah, they had them for 530 for a while there. It's a good price for an AR.
Yeah, that's when we got it.
Yeah. Did you have any others there?
Nope, that's it.
Well, I mean, for any of the listeners, I'd again encourage you guys to check out your local shops, because these are just the ones we stumbled across. I mean, I guess a couple of years ago, more shops I felt didn't have Black Friday sales. More of them would skip it, and it was more of people were thinking it was gimmicky, but it looks like everyone's got on board with it. Everyone's doing these Black Friday sales, so definitely check out your local shops, because there are more shops out there that have sales that we missed, and it's because we can't look at every shop. So get out there and take a look. Why don't we head into listener feedback? So
right.
I'll take the first one.
Oh, you beat me to it.
You didn't even get the words out of your mouth, Adriel.
Okay, we're doing rock, paper, scissors for the last one, aren't we? I call Trevor.
Whatever, man. I don't care.
Matthew M. says the Lancaster is a Brit bomber. He's from California.
Okay.
That's it.
It's a Brit bomber, but Canadians used it too.
Yeah.
Oh.
We have them.
Yep.
Apparently at the airport in Edmonton.
Yep.
All right. Okay, on to Steve.
I'll take it. Slamfire crew. Well, I've made it to episode 99 and a half. Good stuff so far. I'll have to keep listening now just so I can eventually hear my emails read on the show.
Dear Steve, this is the last episode.
Glad to hear more 3-gun stuff and equipment reviews. Just a question. Is Cowboy Action the original 3-gun? Keep up the good work. I look forward to the next episode. Steve from Alberta.
Well, I mean, you used to have the Soldier of Fortune 3-gun matches way back in the 80s, maybe even the 70s. I don't know if Cowboy Action started before or not. It's hard to say. Easy enough to find out. Just look up the SAS, Single Action Shooting Society. I'm sure they've got some information on their website about the history of the sport. Yeah. It's definitely one of the most popular. Like the World Championships and the Nationals and stuff like that, they go on for like almost a week, and everybody's dressed in character, and the whole family is there, and it is one of the coolest shooting sport activities you can take in as a competitor or as a shooter. Myself personally, you'll never catch me in chaps, but those who like it a lot.
Yeah.
No, not in public, at least.
No, unless I'm on a Harley, but even then, I don't know if I'm a chaps guy. So.
Trevor, did you want to take this next one?
Okay, that was first one, Steve. So this is from Frank. Hey people, Christmas is coming up fast, and I am kind of thinking about getting my first AR. And after looking at a few online stores, and well, I see a lot are out of stock. Canada Ammo has a few of the Northeastern arms. Can any of you be able to tell me much about them? All kinds, yeah. Or know of any sites out there that has a few ARs in stock? Thank you, Frank. Well, did any of the ones that we go through? Yeah, well, we saw Daniel Defense on sale at one of those, so.
West had some.
Yeah, Marstar had some of the AR-15s as well.
And, I mean, obviously, I'm going to say the Calgary Shooting Center. If you don't shop there, you're a communist. So, but the NEA, my suggestion is if you want an NEA, get one, but I would do this. I would buy a brand new from a dealer NEA, and here's why. They've changed over the years. The company is still relatively new. It's very, very new as far as firearms manufacturers are concerned, if you want to compare them to like Remington or Winchester or something. The point is they get better with every generation. So if you buy new, you know you're not getting an older rifle that has problems that somebody's trying to dump. They had some quality control issues in the past when some of the parts were being made. They were outsourcing some of the manufacturing of some of the parts. They no longer do that anymore for those particular problems. Customer service is good. 7.62 by 39, I had one. The bolt broke. They sent me a new bolt. I sold it to Snuffleupagus, and his bolt broke. So even the replacement bolt broke. So there's obviously still some issues with the 7.62 by 39 bolts. The lugs are breaking off, and obviously they shouldn't. But stick with the 5.56, 14.5 inch. I don't know who makes their barrels, but they make tremendous barrels. I got like a Gen 2 or a Gen 3, and I've never had a single solitary issue with my rifle, with the exception of I had a Geisley trigger in it, and I was starting to get doubles. And I talked to Arms East about it, and they said, they put me in touch with Geisley, and Geisley was bending over backwards to reach me. They had a guy call me from Europe because he was in Europe at the time. But he was the guy that was going to handle the warranty stuff, so he called me. And he said, here's the thing, I can't tell you how many rounds it takes to wear out a super semi-auto Geisley trigger because it hasn't been done yet. So chances are it's not our trigger. So I took the trigger out of the NEA and I put it in the Daniel Defense and never looked back. So the issue was
maybe they're just some spec was a little bit this way on one, a little bit that way on the other one, and you put those two together and
stacking tolerances, right?
Yeah.
But it didn't do it right away. The trigger was in the rifle for probably a year, and then it just started doing it at the range. Ironically, I dropped in the trigger kit out of the Daniel Defense. No problem. It hasn't had a hiccup ever since. I love my NEA. It's one of the firearms I've had. I've had it for several years now. No intention of selling it. If I do sell it, it's going to just be I'll sell that one in the Stag and get a Daniel Defense. I've been ripped apart online for saying I'll put my NEA up against any of your ARs out there, no matter if you spent $2,000 or $3,000, because it works. It goes bang every time, and it's accurate, and I love it. But buy a new one so you don't get one with problems that somebody's trying to dump. So, yeah.
Yeah, or the other option here is to Frankenstein it and put together the rifle that you want. So you don't have to necessarily buy one out of the box. The AR-15s are like Lego. You can buy a lower, buy an upper, or buy a stripped upper and then get a different barrel. Pop on the stock you want. Like, you don't have to buy the perfect AR for yourself. You can build it. It's not that hard either. Cool. Oh, let's get on to this next one from Spencer. Spencer reads, "Hey guys, first of all, happy Thanksgiving. The real one with the pilgrims and the rock and all. Second, I hate to trash Doc Wesson, but he lives in a very weird state, and the laws he was quoting probably left a lot of folks confused. It sure sounded like Trevor wanted to jump in a few times, but was holding back. If you ignore the gun, holding back? We don't do that. If you could ignore the gun control states like California, New York, Massachusetts, and the ilk, the rest of the states are usually pretty basic, with state law only differing significantly around concealed carry since there's no federal law there. Very few free states have either a waiting period or a requirement to get approved before purchasing any kind of firearm. I think Michigan may have this requirement, but there's push to get rid of it across the board because it's an anachronism left over from before the national instant background checks came along in the mid-1990s. It simply makes no sense to have to get approval from a local law enforcement when the FBI is already doing a check at the time of sale. Doc also lives in one of the few gun-friendly states that require any kind of background check between private individuals. In most places, as long as you don't know that someone isn't a prohibited person, there's no law against transferring the firearm to them. So you have to know that they're not a criminal or a bad guy or something. The gun control lobby likes to pretend this is a problem, but the U.S. Department of Justice found over a decade ago that criminals simply don't get guns from private sales. Less than 1% of criminals they interviewed got a firearm at a gun show or a flea market. A 2015 study by the University of Chicago showed why this is. The first reason was that criminals were afraid that the person selling the firearm might cooperate with law enforcement if the gun was used in a crime. Secondly, they were afraid that a classified ad could be a police sting. Both local police and the ATF have run this kind of operation in the past, and simply by showing up to a proposed meeting, a prohibited person is committing a felony. So that's really interesting. But in short, these background checks do nothing useful and actually make law-abiding people into criminals through their crazy definitions of what a transfer is. I know Doc mentioned that a national concealed carry reciprocity bill might pass now because of Trump's win and the Republicans' control of Congress, but I personally think that the Hearing Protection Act, which would remove silencers from the NFA, has a much better chance of passing. Large states like California and New York will never honor a carry permit they don't have absolute control over. The only way nationwide reciprocity would ever be to have a federal license and take it away from the states altogether. Even if it went through, a lot of states would still layer on so many restrictions on out-of-state permits that would basically be useless. On the flip side, silencers are already legal to own in the vast majority of states, with only 8 left that still ban them, and hunting with suppressors is legal in 40 states. With that kind of weight on our side, I think Congress could easily pass this bill with no real political repercussions. I think Doc also mentioned the South Korean M1 carbines the State Department had blocked, but there are also a whole bunch of Grands out there as well. Hopefully both those and other imports will start to make their way back into the country pretty soon. Great show as always, Spencer. P.S. Sorry, no P.S. this time. Oh, that reminds me, there was a Canadian effort to get suppressors legalized here. Oh, I can't remember the detail. I'll include it in the next show, but there's some more details on that. I believe they just got a website going, and they're trying to get people to push our government to legalizing suppressors. I don't know. I don't personally know what the luck that we're going to have right now with our current government, but boy, it would be nice because, yeah, like 40 states in the U.S. where they can use suppressors when they hunt. I would love to use a suppressor when I hunted. I mean, that crack of the shot is permanent hearing damage every time you do it without hearing protection on. I don't want to have to throw on a pair of earmuffs when I'm hunting. And yeah, it's, you know what? It's hearing protection, and it would be nice to have that.
I think one of the best arguments, and I bring it up every time, so I know I sound like a broken record, is when there are countries in Great Britain that require you to use them, like our countries in the United Kingdom. Yeah, thanks.
New Zealand, they have the same laws now, do they not? And so does Australia.
No, not Australia. No? Australia, no.
No? Okay.
Australia is worse than California. New Zealand and Australia are so different in the gun laws, it's ridiculous.
I thought it was...
No, Australians' laws are really restrictive.
Okay, never mind.
Jason Philp will tell us.
Yes. Hi, Jason.
He's Facebooking me right now. I'll ask him.
All right.
If you'd like to email the show, just send an email over to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Kelly, did you want to do this first iTunes review?
Sure. So it said loads of fun, and it also gave us 5-star. It's Guy in YYC. What is YYC?
I think that's Calgary.
Is it Calgary?
The airport code, yeah.
Yeah,
yep.
The airport code for Calgary. So you guys are great. Lots of fun to listen to with a splash of seriousness and some good info. Trevor is so serious. OCD much? Well, maybe a little type A at the very minimum. I think he knows you. What do you think?
He's been talking to my therapist.
The rest of the cast across Canada is great to have. All you work very well together. I'm not going to drone on forever here other than to say that I look for every episode. Kelly, you keep the whip and the boys keep boys in line. I can't speak, but I'm keeping them in line.
Kelly does keep us in line with a whip.
Read that.
Hurry up and move on, because I'm biting the tip right off.
If you'd like to leave us an iTunes review, please do so. Please leave a 5-star rating. We've got 144 5-star reviews so far, and counting. We have 111 from Canada, 30 from the US, 1 Australian, 1 UK, 1 from Lithuania, and 1 from Belgium. Make it funny, and you might hear it on the show. You'll probably hear it on the show anyways. And thank you very much to everyone out there who has already reviewed us. Any shout-outs, guys?
I've got one to the hosts, my co-hosts, fellow co-hosts over at the Reloading podcast. I had a 223 brass issue, and they were talking me off the edge. The Lee trimmer the one with the little gauge that goes in the cutter and the shell holder that goes in the chuck of a drill, it trims the brass shorter than the recommended minimum length.
Oh.
Yeah, like the maximum is 1.760 and the minimum is like, well, not minimum per se is 1.750, but 1.750 is a nice number to pick because you make sure that since it's just under the maximum, all your cases, regardless of how they've been used, can be trimmed to that length, right? Well, the Lee trimmer trims them to 1.730, and I ended up trimming like literally probably thousands of cases, and now I believe them to all be too short. So Jeremy, Jason, Mike, I never got a hold of Jim, forgot to include Jim in the conversation. That's my bad. He would have calmed me down too, I'm sure. They were like, don't worry about it, man. 1.730 is fine. But I read it in a book and it's like, no, it can't be fine. But the guys walked me through it.
Are you crimping those? Like, are you putting them into a bullet that has a crimp groove on it?
I am for the AR rounds, yeah.
Because if you do that, that'll change your OAL because you'll have to crimp onto the new length. So you'll just need to you'll pop a bullet in there, put it to the crimp groove, and see what kind of OAL you've got because you wouldn't want that to be too short.
Exactly, right? So, and without a crimp groove, it's fine. I'll just load to the book recommended OAL, which is like 5740 or something like that for in the metric. Anyway, I had an OCD moment, and I don't know. I for my bolt gun, I'm going to start over, scrap all the brass I have, pull some of the test loads that I loaded, and only work with brass that is trimmed to 1.750, and the rest, it's just going to go through my AR and get lost and dropped on the ground, whatever.
Well, you're not crimping bullets for your bolt gun, are you?
I am not.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter what length you're popping those to.
Well, when you're working with a 40 grain bullet, you don't have a lot of neck.
Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I literally, this was a suggestion from Mike, seat the bullet and then take another bullet and lay it next to the case and see exactly how much bullet's in the neck. And there wasn't much, so I actually bumped it down a little bit. So, yeah. Anyway, I can't just do 100, right? I gotta do 1,000. Like, oh.
Before you check them, right? I know.
Furlough achieving is not always happening.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's good that they talked you down.
Yeah. So thanks, guys.
Yeah. I don't know if I've got a shout out, more of like a correction, I guess. Just from last week's show, I had mentioned that, we had this issue at a range and deviation form and whatnot. And I didn't get all my facts straight. I didn't get enough information from, what had happened. So it turns out that deviation form is absolutely required. It's something that the CFO can request to see at any time just based on our range rules. So I gave you guys the wrong information, and because of that, we went down somewhat of a negative path, and it's ultimately my fault for bringing you guys there. So I apologize to you guys because really that took us to a place we shouldn't have been, and we ended up saying some things that I don't think were constructive or even
that's you know what, that's a good way of putting it. None of our criticisms were constructive. Like I made one comment where I said he was being unreasonable, and that's as professional as I can muster. Jumping on this guy and throwing him under the bus, especially, and I mean, I didn't know who we were talking about, and I know of the guy, and I know he's none of the names I called him, but yeah, I owned it, and I apologize as well. I'm sure it's happened before. It's going to happen again. I'm known for like just jumping on the go button and running my mouth. It's what I do. I'm trying to get better though. I really am.
Yeah, but that's it was unfortunate, and we'll have to, like, we always try to get our information straight when we're just doing this show, and we just gotta keep on it.
Definitely.
Yep.
Sometimes.
Cool.
Yeah. Next up, we've got our Patreon supporters. So we've got some new ones out there. Our new Patreon supporters, Brian B is on for $1.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian. Yeah, that was a big help.
I thought we agreed we weren't going to call him out by name, and we were just going to say some cheapskate just threw a buck at us.
See, here we are. We're going. Thanks, Brian.
Right, moving on. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks for keeping us in line there, Kelly.
Thanks for using that whip on us again.
Dave and Michael B. as well have graciously added on. Dave is joining on for 762. They join our current Patreon supporters of Clayton G, Robert K, Colin H, Dave Z, Mr. Uzi, aka Thomas B, Morgan S, Jason P, Dalton H, Jonathan S, Tyler A, Richard D, Rob B, Thomas S, Chad G, Kevin L, Ryan B, Adrian R, Mike R, Mark P, Justin D, Miss Stacy, Spencer C, Byron A, James B.
Wow.
And I totally forgot. Michael B had sponsored for 223. And they'll be able to access the new special show that we've got with listener Mark P. So that, as well as another short podcast that we did with, the name is escaping me for a second. What was our first one with?
Mike Rose?
Yeah, there we go.
Mike Roos.
Yes. Yeah.
Mike Roos.
Both
graduates.
Sorry, go ahead.
I said they're both graduates from the Ferlacci training camp.
There we go. And as well, we've got that really quick little YouTube thing as well. So those are up on the Patreon system. We've got links to that on our website. Just to close things off, please join one or more of the National Firearms Associations like the CCFR or the CSSA. It's important to support those gun rights orgs. Check us out on Gun Owners of Canada. We've got a thread over there, and it's a really good forum. Lots of interesting conversations. Like us on Facebook. We're at 1,553 likes. 100, and aside from Facebook, we've got a whole litany of other stuff. We've got 116 thumbs up, 26 gold stars, and counting. 2 flukes, 4 manatee flippers, 2 kangaroo thumbs, 1 safe space, 1 HK logo, 2 hobbit thumbs, 5 duck bills, 2 squirrel nuts, 2 honks, 2 1911 triggers, an ace of spades, a cartridge in a pear tree, and a pheasant in a pear pine tree. Oh boy.
This needs to stop.
I say we reset it. End of the year, we reset it, and then
that's it. That's perfect. We'll do this until December 31st, and then we'll pull a reset.
You know what I
Push
think
the
we
button.
should do? I think we should do like the 12 days of Christmas.
I don't want to have to read those every time.
What?
All right, let's close this thing down. Say goodnight, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Oh, and Jason Philp got back to me. Silencers are legal in New Zealand.
There we go.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
So if you have any comments or questions for the show, please send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Now go grab a gun and shoot something.
When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.